Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 11, coming up this weekend. Friday for some if you're subscribed to AMC Premiere, and then Sunday for the rest. And be easy if you're thinking about going on the internet, because it's becoming a new thing this half where people are actually doing reaction videos a day or two early because they can do it on AMC Premiere. But they're actually uploading it to YouTube, and then also they're taking clips, like Beta Fights Rosita, and they're just straight uploading those a day and a half early. So just be careful. I'm shocked, AMC doesn't take it down, because again, it's whole clips, and it's before the majority of people see it. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy. I put this little skit together because I just think it's hilarious. Remember the kid that got shot in the leg with Morgan? He's like, I'm bleeding bad. Daryl's like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm worse than you are. Stay strong. And then you see Daryl here by the tree. See, just needed a little nap. Life is good. And then a kid's just dead. Yeah, that's so stupid, but I get a kick out of it every time. AMC put up a number of different footages, opening minutes, sneak peeks, quick looks. I don't know, but there's a ton of footage for episode 11. I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be extended because there's that much footage, but the opening minutes is pretty interesting. You got Beta here, who seems pretty angry that he lost his fight with Snowman Arms. And if you're new to the world or to the internet, I can't play the footage in its entirety. You're just going to have to look on YouTube for it, because YouTube will take it down. I don't care who can get away with it. I can't. On this channel, AMC knows better. They'll strike it down, so I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so Beta and some of the Whispers are gathering some sap. And at first I thought this was something for survival. But now that I think about it, this is all about war. So I would imagine, I've never used sap to make a bomb, but I would imagine this somehow is something they're going to use for their bombs. I mean, I could be way off. I feel like I'm way off. But the look of them, and they highlight a lot of fire coming up with the Hilltop battle or attack. That's, I don't know. You guys let me know. I never knew sap was or had anything to do with fire. It also could be something totally unrelated, but still used for the war. And Negan beats Alpha, I'm assuming because she did kind of fail. So this is where there's a cool shot. Negan beats her, and then it's his turn. He's like, I can't wait to cut this bitch's head off. That's what he's saying. So you see the Horde with the Walkers and the Whispers, and they're chanting. Yeah, we are the end of the world, but also I think they say we're going to take them all. But the interesting part is when we get here, we get our boy Negan. Wait, where's he at? Come on now. Too slow. So 10-11 is where Negan's going to get his skin finally. Yeah, we take them all. So Negan is with him, and what's really cool is he has Lucille kind of tied up in a sling tucked behind his back. The other clip here, this looks like it was on Talking Dead from this little mark here, and they set up some type of electric fence. I'm assuming that was the idea behind it, was to get some of the Whispers that might be in the Walker Horde, but it looks like the Whispers at least are smart enough, clever enough, or they're farther back where that's pretty nasty, where the Walkers take it down, and right before it shuts off, I mean, it's so quick, you can see a Whisper. Yeah, right behind this guy. He might be a Whisperer, but right behind him, you can clearly see this guy right there. That guy right there, it was a little mask. So it's just something to kind of slow them down. And it's just, again, part of the battle happening at the Hilltop. We've got Alpha and Negan here. Now, Negan is trying to convince Alpha to not completely destroy them and kill them all. He's convincing Alpha that she can have them bend the knee, and some of the people at the Hilltop can join them.
Alpha, we can get them to join us.
So that's interesting because, again, I feel, a lot of comic fans feel that Negan is obviously playing Alpha and the Whispers, essentially going to turn on them. But what's really interesting is here you have Negan attacking the Hilltop with them. So how are they going to remix this? Now, I don't know where Carol is. I don't remember seeing her. She might be in the trailer, but we didn't see much of her. Daryl and Lydia show up at the Hilltop. These guys are like, yo, we need to go looking for our people. But then they showcase this where the tree's down in the road, and there's like a little caravan. I was assuming this is the caravan that was coming from Alexandria. I would have to go back and look at the end of 10:10. And maybe Daryl caught up with them on the road, because here's his little bike here. And they all showed up back at the Hilltop. But the road being blocked, this could have something to do with the Whisperers sectioning it off, getting ready for their little attack. There was this scene reminded me of, remember when Rick, before All Out War, Rick was standing here looking at Glenn's grave? That's what it reminded me of. So I'm interested to see the episode to see how they're going to connect those two. Or if it just kind of represents, I don't even know what it would represent. Like, not a Rick replacement, because they went out of their way to say, like, we're not replacing Rick. It's going to be an ensemble cast. It is a little annoying. Again, like my little cartoon, my little comic strip here. He just has a Band-Aid for something that was a clear artery that was severed. Because there's only 3 types of wounds. One is the blood vessels under the skin, kind of, sort of, or maybe like a cut or scrape. And then the next is a cut where it'll bleed. And then the other is where it's spurting. And spurting wounds are arteries, and that's what he had. The other kid had. That's how he died. But for Daryl, you just tie it up. It's kind of a shame they went that route. It does knock at some of the realism. And don't tell me there's zombies in the show. We've already gone down that road. That doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. Because if it didn't matter, if realism didn't matter, Daryl just have superpowers, and he would kill them all with firebolts from his ass. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here's Carol in the painting room. I think it was Jadis, if I remember right, who did the paintings. So we know that Alexandria got here because we can see Rosita. She was in the caravan. And they're pretty much saying that Alexandria can't make it to them. And obviously they're referring to whoever's left in Alexandria. And then they're going to have to do this battle or do this war. And for a minute there, I was worried because there was so much in the episode, or I'm sorry, the preview, that made the episode feel like it was going to be build up with the very end of the episode being a few minutes of fighting, and something drastic happens which leads into a cliffhanger, and then they trail out the fighting in the beginning of 10-12, or maybe the fighting is completely over by 10-12. And the reason I say that is because 10-12 was supposed to be a Michonne-centric episode, and I believe it's her final episode, or maybe she only has 1 or 2 left. I don't know, but we're going to revisit Michonne, or we were supposed to, in episode 12. And it just came out, actually, Julian, a member of the Matt family, broke the news a little while back that they switched episodes around. Now, this isn't the first time. They've done this a few different seasons before. I think the Daryl episode where he was a prisoner, they switched that episode with the one that followed it. But they're doing the same here, where episode 12 was going to be Michonne-centric. It's now going to be whatever was episode 13. And the Michonne-centric episode is now going to be episode 13. So episode 12 is episode 13. Episode 13 is now episode 12. That's why I kind of felt like they were leaving this war really short and sweet and punchy, or at a cliffhanger, and then we would have to wait for the whole Michonne episode. And I'm kind of hoping they saw reality and they thought, you know what? Our fans are getting real frustrated with the shit we pull. We better not do that where here's a cliffhanger, then here's a Michonne episode that's, has nothing to do with the cliffhanger at the Hilltop, and then come back next week for the continuation of the Hilltop battle. So I'm really hoping that played some part, if that's the direction they're going. If not, then they just switched it because they thought it would flow better, of course. But again, they've done that before where here's something important, here's an episode in between. Even shows like Stranger Things did it, which isn't so bad because you can binge it all at once, so it doesn't even matter. But they had a cliffhanger, then they had a character-centric episode, and this was season 2. And then they came back and resolved the cliffhanger in the following episode. That shit is obnoxious. So anyway, here's the trailer. Daryl swinging the mace, really badass-like. Yeah, that shit is fly. And I got to bring this up just because I get asked it. I really don't care, but I think, I don't know, I'm so done with the whole Rosita Eugene. I thought we were on solid ground with it, and now we're not. And I feel like this is the Michonne Ezekiel thing where it's like, oh, let's just show them, because the shipper community is huge in the fan base. Let's just give them something to talk about, and the fans will go nuts and keep The Walking Dead relevant and on life support. But when reality, when you watch it, it's not what you think. Even if it is, I don't give a shit. I mean, she's with Gabriel. Does this matter? Why does this matter? Is she just going to die anyway? Again, she's in another show, and that's hit or miss. I tried following the production, and it really seems like the production isn't as in-depth or as finished as a lot of people think. But it's also confirmed that the Selena TV show she's on is going to be 2 seasons, 6 episodes each season, and it's going to literally be in production at the same time as The Walking Dead. And they were in negotiations about the back half of season 10. So how are they going to do season 11? Are they going to have to, because she can't be recast, and that's all going to be worked out, I would imagine, within the contracts. Anyhow, my only question is, does this happen before the battle at the Hilltop? Or is this spoiling that they both make it out of the battle at the Hilltop? Because they both are just kind of chilling. You know what I'm saying? She's got this weird, I don't know, man. She's got the weird look on her face. Watch it be a dream. It's Eugene's wet dream, people. Don't get too excited. Anyway, that's all I got to say for the footage leading up. I had a ton of people just say we want an old-fashioned discussion about what's coming up in the next episode. There seemed to be a lot there, and we're leading into a heavy amount of warfare, I hope. I hope it's not just the last 5 minutes of the episode and then spills over into the next one, and then that's it. But I hope it's of substance, but we'll see. Put your thoughts and opinions down below. I'm done talking. It's your turn.